Okay, let's make this fun, easy, quick fall DIY using items from the Dollar Tree. So I have this picture frame from the Dollar Tree, and then I have these little foam bowls. They're not from the Dollar Tree. I get them like in a big box, but I do have, you can probably get them at Dollar Tree. I have skewers, and then I have these little wooden logs. I'm going to cut the big ones in half. You don't have to cut them in half, but I wanted to cut mine in half. And then I'm just going to line them up to see how many I need. I grabbed a few more small ones. This is how the box comes. I got it from Amazon. It's just a big box of the foam balls. So once I had enough for what I wanted to do, I'm just going to play around with it. I have these little wooden stumps right here, but they're too long for me. So I'm just cutting one in half. And then I'm going to use the little Dollar Tree skewers on top. I was going to do a bunch of three on the top of each of the small ones, but then I ended up changing my mind at the end. But you can just cut those off, snap them in half. You can have it just to make them the length that you want. And then I took out any color that I had that was fall, like so I took out like browns, orange, this one green. I wanted a green one. The color didn't give me the color that I want when I mixed them, but I wanted like a pretty green one, but I took the spice colored one and I painted the foam ball, the half foam ball. So I'm just painting like two of each color, if that makes sense. So you can do it whatever color combination you want. You can do these in a nice, pretty, like off white. I love those color pumpkins, but I just painted mine different colors just to give them that earthy pumpkin look. So, like I said, I mixed that green in there, and it gave an earthy color. It did for sure, but it wasn't the green that I wanted. But that was okay because it still gave an earthy type look. So I didn't use all the colors that I had pulled out. I just used a few of them. This orange was a little bit brighter than I wanted, but again, that was okay because it gave it just an extra little pop. And then I have this sign from the Dollar Tree. I picked it up. They had put it out early, but I've already used the middle piece, so I'm just going to use the top piece for that. I glued that down to the picture frame. I had to put it on kind of an angle because it was kind of too big. Then I'm just going to wrap around some twine around the pumpkin. No specific order, like pattern or anything like that. I'm just hot gluing it back and putting it around. But just to give it like that pumpkin look, you can also get, I have pumpkins that I have gotten from Dollar Tree last year around fall time that you can get to put here. But this is if you don't have pumpkins, you can do it this way. So I'm just going to do that and hot glue them down. I'm stacking some of them up. So it looks like, kind of like a little pumpkin patch. And then I'm taking some Spanish moss that I got from Dollar Tree also, and just taking a little bit and putting it on the top of the pumpkin there, and then hot gluing that down. You can use a little bow or something like that. You can use a combination. But then I'm taking the little wooden stump that I cut and gluing it down. And you can see it's already giving it, like, in my mind, a little pumpkin look to it. So I'm just going to continue to do that with the rest of the pieces. And it's just real easy, real simple. I thought about adding some other wording to this, another little thing in the corner over there, but I decided to leave it just this simple. But you can take this to another level. You can put a cute little bow. You can do so many different things. This is when I was thinking about putting them in a bunch of three, and I took some twine, some white ribbon, and I was thinking about putting little bows, but no, I didn't do it. And then I realized I didn't even need the bunch of three that I was going to do. So I just did one of the little skewer pieces in each of the smaller pumpkins, just real quick, real simple. And then I went back and added a ton more of the Spanish March. I glued some on the bottom, like in the little gaps there, and I glued some more on the top, just to give it that fall type festive look. And this is how it came out. So if you like these kind of DIYs, make sure to follow along for more. I made these quick and easy floral pieces using scrap fabric. You can use fabric squares. I have this neutral color fabric square right here, and then this other piece of fabric that is like more like a linen. If you want these to be a little stiffer, you can use a thicker type fabric, but these were like a really pretty color to me that I thought would be nice for the fall season. And this is like real easy to do. So you're just going to fold it up a few times. Like I just cut it a couple of inches and just folded it up a few times, and then I'm just going to cut little peaks in these. If you want it to be real nice and even. You can pin this to make sure everything sticks together. You can do a quick stay stitch in this, but I just held it together and cut it. But you can cut it at a really nice peak so that these have a really good peak to these, or like I said, you can use a stiffer fabric and then you'll get a different type of appearance with these. But you can play around with these and do these in so many different ways. You can do these in prints too, because there are a lot of pretty full like prints for the season. But just to make them look a little bit like flowers, I'm just doing them in solid colors because there's not that many printed flowers. And then this is how it looks. Like I said, if you wanted to, you can do little peaks at yours at the top, but I left mine like that. I did do some with peaks as I, cause I did a whole bunch of these. And then you're just going to take some thread and just, you see how I fold it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like less than a half an inch, just to get like kind of a pleated accordion type look. And then once you're done with that, you can pull the thread through and tie it off in a good knot there. You can take some embroidery thread or thicker thread at the bottom and wrap it around just to make sure everything stays nice. But if you tie it up real nice, it should stay perfectly fine. And then I went on and did a whole bunch more of these. And like I said, you can do them in different shapes, different styles. I folded this one the same way I folded the other one. And then this one I'm going to cut more into a curve as opposed to the little peaks, because you know there are different type of flowers out there. So I just folded that like that, and then I'm hand doing all of, like, just eyeballing all of my cuts. But you can, if you want, draw it out. You can make a pattern for these, but it's just, I just did it real quick and easy. And then I'm just going to fold this up just like I did the other one, with the thread just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth till I get to the end, and then pull the thread through, tie it off in a knot, and then you can fluff it out to make it look more like a floral piece when you're done. Again, if you want, you can put something around the bottom. If you want, you can hit it with a dab of glue. But you can see the different fabrics create a different look. And then I just have this bowl that I got from Target. Love this. This is a bowl that you can dress up for all different holidays and seasons. I love a good wood piece. And I'm just taking and putting it with some faux greenery to give it more of a floral look. And I'm just placing it around the bowl. I put some paper in there so that, you know, I didn't have to fill the whole bowl. And once I was done filling it and playing around with all the placements, this is how it came out. And you can do this for any season. You can do this in pretty Christmas colors. But I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to follow along for more fun and easy DIYs. Another quick, fun, and easy Dollar Tree DIY for this fall. All right, so you can use these wood squares that you can get from Dollar Tree. I got these circles from Michael's, but they were about like $1 too. But you can use a bunch of different things. But I'm going to use these wood planks that you get in a pack from Dollar Tree. I'm going to double mine up so that they are just a little bit thicker. I have four of the square ones and then two of the rectangle ones. You could triple them up and you would have like a nice thick one, but I'm just going to do double because that's all I have. I'm going to glue them together. You can use wood glue too if you want. I'm just going to push them together, wait for it to dry. You want to make sure that everything is nice and even, because when you're done, you want it to be able to stand up with no problem. So I did all of those. I just put glue around the edge, not in the middle. You could cover this with some nice craft paper. You could do a crackling effect on this. You could do so many different things. I'm just going to paint mine. I'm going to paint each one a different color. I'm going to paint around all of the edges. Just the only part you don't have to worry about is the bottom, because it will be standing on the bottom. So I went and did the first one. This color I love for this fall. So I did this one, just one coat. It kind of gives it like a stain kind of look, because this wood does just suck up the paint. You can go and give it a second coat if you want a more full coverage, but I like the stain type look on it. And then I went on to the next one and did that one the same exact way. I just painted around all of the edges, the top and the back, because you will be able to see the back. And then I did this one. This one you really don't notice the colors. You could leave it like that, but the color is nice. And then just to give it a little extra detail, I just went around with a different color from the other ones, if that makes sense, around the edge of each one so that it wasn't so flat. You don't have to do that part, but like I said, you can do this in so many different ways. So I just like kind of like, dirtying it up. You could also put lines in it to make it look more like a pumpkin too. You can do it so many different ways. Just whatever you feel like doing, just go with the moment as you're just doing it, and it'll come out great. And then I'm gonna stack them together like you see the little decor pieces. You can do this in a bunch of different ways. I'm gonna put the two square ones up front, but I don't want them to be at the same level. So I'm just going to use some Jenga blocks to elevate it. You can paint your Jenga blocks so that they are the same color and everything goes together. But I just left mine as is. So I put two on that side and elevated that one and then just glued that one straight to there. And then now we're going to put little pumpkin stems on them. For the tall one, I'm going to put this little wooden log. And then for the other ones, I'm going to put the little square cubes you can get at Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using some sea moss just to add another little detail to the little pumpkin. So I'm just gluing that on, and then I painted the little cubes the same color as the tall pumpkin. You can paint them green. You can paint them so many different colors. But and then I'm just going to add a little bit of greenery to it too, just to give it just another little pop of color. And that is it. That's how it turned out. Love it so much, and you can customize these in so many different ways. Make sure to follow along for more fun and easy DIYs. I wanted to do a fall summer redo, so I have this sign that I got from Dollar Tree for the 4th of July. I like the little metal piece on the top. It's like a mason jar sign. I'm going to give it a full remake. You could cover it with a nice piece of craft paper, but I'm going to paint mine. So before I paint it, though, I'm going to take off that glitter that's on the sign because it's like raised, and if you just paint straight over that, you will see like the raisedness of that. So I'm just going to give that a quick sanding. It's all over the place, so it's like in the stars, it's in the little fireworks section. So I'm just giving it a feel to make sure that everything is nice and flat, and that's how I'll know when I'm done sanding. And then once I did that, I'm covering it with like a chestnut color paint. I'm going to give it a couple of coats because even though this paint is nice and dark and I did do the sanding, you can kind of still see the lettering through it. So I just gave it a couple of coats. I'm not taping it off around the top there. I'm just going to just go as neatly as I can, like an edge painting to the top there with a smaller brush. It'll be easier to do that. So I let that first coat dry. I went and did the second coat. And then I have these pumpkins that I got from Dollar Tree last year. I'm going to just paint those with this toasted marshmallow color. So it's like kind of like an off-white creamish type color. And I think that'll go nice with the chestnut color of the sign. You could do this in a whole bunch of different ways. You could make your own little cutouts for these pumpkins, especially if you have a Cricut. You can just cut these with the wood. I have this sign from the Dollar Tree, so it's a little stencil, and I just thought it was cute and would just add something extra to the sign. I'm going to be using the same toasted marshmallow color for that. I went a bit too heavy with my paint, and I got marks on the side too, but I just did some touch-ups for those. So don't go too heavy with the paint. I usually like to use the stencils, like I make them with the Cricut, but not everybody has a Cricut, so it's easier to show this way, where you can just grab you a stencil from Dollar Tree. But I went over that, like I said, too heavy. I just went over it one time with the toasted marshmallow color, and this is how that came out. And then I just did the touch-ups where I spilled the paint and scuffed up the sign there. And then now the pumpkins, I'm just gonna just dirty them up a little bit, just give them a little edging with the same color, the chestnut. So I just took the brush before I cleaned it and just took that little bit of paint that was left over and went around the edge, so kind of like a dry brushing. I did that to both of those. You could add little lines to it. You could do lines with the twine. You could do so many different things. I'm going to take the twine. I'm going to put it in that hole that these pumpkins do have and just wrap it around. You could hit that with a little bit of hot glue to make sure everything stays in place. You can also add some extra to here. You can add some greenery. You can add some bows. Some ribbons and stuff like that. But I just wanted to keep it nice and simple, so I just glued that in the back. And because that part is raised, raised right there, that's what hits the sign, and then the bottom. So that's why I put the glue on both of those parts right there. And then I got this Jenga block just to raise the second one so that it can be stacked on top. I glued that down and then did the same thing with the twine for this pumpkin and glued that to the top of the Jenga block and just like kind of stack those there. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of greenery. Like I said, like you can add greenery all over. You can add it on the pumpkins. You can do so many different things. But I just took these two little faux leaves, and then these are the hula hoops, the hula skirts, not hula hoops, the hula skirts from Dollar Tree. These are great for fall DIYs. So I just took a few strands of that and just tied it around. But you can do some pretty ribbons and bows right there. But I just left it like that because, like I said, I wanted it just nice and simple. And then this is how it came out. Even though I used too much paint on the stencil, I do love how this looks, and I love this silver up top. Follow for more DIYs.